Hi guys, so we got a bucket here, it's an old used one, and then we have our rotten bucket there. So I had a bunch of people ask me about how I winter this goldfish in here, and excuse the mess, I've been kind of stirring things around and it got nasty. So we're going to take out this rotten bucket, replace it with this bucket, and this is the cave that I use for them to be able to hide for birds in the summer, and then in the winter they can go there for a warm place because I put aquarium filters in there. So the main thing you're going to do is you're going to drill a hole in the middle for the fish to go in. I put one on either side so they can go through it if they need to. And then you're going to drill a hole, a small hole, in the highest points on the bottom, because you're going to put this upside down into the tank, and you want small holes in here for the air to escape. So because otherwise it's eventually going to get air and it's going to float to the surface, and you don't really want that. But yeah, just make sure you have a hole cut for the fish and then flip it in. So this one's been in here for 4 or 5 years now, and it's kind of rotten. You can kind of see how the holes were in it. You can see the goldfish got disturbed. Whoops, didn't mean to get the drill one. Alright guys, just a second. So honestly, I was afraid that this bucket would be too tall, but it looks like it's about the same as the old bucket. Yeah, but see, that's the hole. I think I want to just cut it with a Dremel. It doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be big enough for the fish to get in. I'm going to use a hole saw on this one. Now remember, the trick for the hole saw is when you're cutting it, put it in reverse to go through plastics. It's a lot easier. So let's get it done real quick and I'll put it in there. So, and another trick for the holes to make it easy, I'm just going to use the pilot bit. I don't have to go in very deep. So I'm just going to use the pilot bit so I don't have to change the bit on the drill. Just a little lazy trick. Alright, second. You're done, you just clean it up with the razor blade and cut around any shavings. And be a little careful. If you use an older bucket like me, it can crack. As you can see on this side, yeah, I got a crack there and a crack there. On this one, I want to make sure that goldfish I have in this tank can fit in there. So I just made it, I doubled it. I drilled a hole here and then one just under it, but it cracked. Not enough support. But yeah, I'm going to finish cleaning this up. The razor blades, there's no sharp edges, and then put it back. You can also use sandpaper or a file. This razor blade's kind of the quick and easy way. But thank you guys. See you in a bit. Alright, now it's time to put our mess, don't fall over, drill, into the bucket. So I want the bigger hole towards the middle of the tank. Sorry guys. And we want to make it so that way the bucket's kind of in the middle, because in the center is where the highest temperature is going to be. So for the winter, you want to kind of center it. And so my trick is just drop it in like this. If you're all wondering, this is this right here is it's caught on something. It's a water trough. It's kind of messy. When I got moved into there, that goldfish was in this tank, and this tank had 8 inches of ice on the top. The goldfish survived without this, but during that last big freeze we had here in Texas, this trick saved all of these fish. Pretty much all of this tank froze except for the bucket that I had. I had two 250 watt aquarium heaters in it. And so the heaters, you just stick it in, stick the wire through one of the holes you made, whichever one's going to be closer to the side, and then just use the suction cups to stick it to the side. And then I just stuck them, you know, one going on this side and one on that side. And then set them to the minimum setting if you want. That's just what I did, because you know, 65 is fine. There's just goldfish and feeder minnows in here. But yeah, they're mostly just to keep the mosquitoes down, and the goldfish keeps the algae down. Yeah, guys, hope this trick helps you all, and see you next time. This can also work with aquaponics too. Like if you have an IBC tote, just stick something like this in the middle of the bottom of the IBC tote, and then you get kind of the same effect. So what you're going for is in the wild, in the center of, you know, in the deepest waters where it's going to be warmer. And so when it gets really cold, fish will go towards the deeper water to find warmth. And so you're just kind of simulating that, creating a warmer pocket in your body of water. You don't have to heat 100% of all of the water. This way you're mostly just heating that little tank. And to make it so that way the aquarium heaters can keep up, you got to make it so they're in a smaller space. So like a 250 watt aquarium heater, I think is good for like a 55 gallon tank. So you put it in there, it's only got to keep a 30 gallon mass warm, and yes, it's going to bleed out and it's not going to be very efficient, but with that, you know, at least your fish will survive. They'll have a warm spot to go where the heat's at least slowed down from instantly dissipating like it would if you just put the heaters in a giant tank like this. And then I also use, it's not the prettiest, but I use one of these, a de-icer. I put it off to the side of the tank and in front of the buckets, in front of one of the holes to keep, it's like, I put it right there. And then it only heats up, I think the trigger's at 45 degrees. And so it's only going to, it's mostly just keep the ice from forming there. But you want to keep open water, because if it freezes completely over, the fish can suffocate. So you want to keep at least one hole in the water. I also want to keep it so that way, you know, the horses and cows don't die. They got to be able to have something to drink. But yeah, just a few little tips, you guys. Thank you. Bye. So a few little side notes real quick. Now, you can use a better tub than this. You can use something kind of rubberized, a little more like a plastic feed tote that they sell molasses in for cows. That would work great for this. It would last a lot longer. But I use these ones because I'm kind of a nervous person, and I like it because it's clear. And even though it goes cloudy pretty quick, when you put the heaters, the aquarium heaters in there, if you put the indicator light on the heater facing out, you can see the red glow through the plastic. So even when it's really cold, I can check it and be like, okay, it's still working. So that's the reason why I use the clear ones. And then I have a bunch of, and they're pretty easy to get. You can get them for free on Craigslist and stuff like that. So low expense, and it lasted 5 years, so I'm not gonna complain about that. And then another tip, put a rock on it, keep it from floating. It's gonna get gas and stuff, and there's fish toots and all that junk, and not all of it's gonna evaporate out. But yeah, happy day, guys. Happy day.